I do not think that Nana wants the free SHS Council.
I don't agree with Henekasia that Ghanaians or Ghanaians don't deserve the free education. It is a right.
So that is what Nana was trying to say, that look, but where I disagree and I find it difficult how it's going to be implemented is where Nana is saying that those who want to pay should be given the opportunity to pay.
Welcome to the Warrior Kings podcast. This is the best podcast in the world. Here we talk matters political and patriotic. Here we tell you what you need to know about the country Ghana, the state of affairs in the country, in order for you to make the right judgment about the country. We're here for patriotism, how to bring your mind to the idea and the perception that Ghana can only be developed by Ghanaians, and we are Ghanaians, and we're here to talk patriotism. Today we have a lot on our plate, and I have my Warrior King brother here, comrade S.A. Hammond. Minya Akwawa.
Yeah.
And they have a cancer, and then you're plating us, and some baby were plating us, and Nama Kasia na yebe survey. So today, not to beat about the bush, we have to go straight to the point. And today, our first topic, we're talking about the OSP and KUNTUNKUNUNKU. I'm referring to former Finance Minister Kenneth Nanaya KUNTUNKUNUNKU Fariatha. He's back in the news again, and so this is more like a follow-up to
sequel to what you have been doing.
Earlier episode we did about him and his battle with the OSP, and now he has responded through his lawyers that the OSP entered his name wrongly, that he was a fugitive from justice, and so he wanted that tag removed from him. The OSP obliged, and he removed that tag, and now he's back again, and he says he's suing the office of the special prosecutor. That the man has defamed him, have infringed on his human rights by going to his residence to look for him. The man who was head of affairs of our finance in the country for about 8 years, for a whole 8 years, and the investigation, his name is involved in some corruption-related issues, about 5 of them. He's the prime suspect, according to the OSP, and he's needed to answer questions. And this man says the very person who is to call him and investigate the matter, which is the office of the special prosecutor, is defaming him, and he sued the office of the special prosecutor. So that's the first topic on the agenda tonight. And so what do you think about it?
Thank you, my brother. You know, we're in strange times, and it keeps on getting interesting.
Really strange.
Yeah, it keeps on getting interesting.
Animal farm kind of a country.
Exactly. It keeps on circling back to the same issues we have been driving home, that the political system in the Fourth Republic is a colossal waste of time, and it's going to be such maneuvers and wild goose chase that at the end of the day comes to one thing: depriving the masses of what they could attain, whilst a select few are protected.
Yes.
You know, the Nigerians have this proverb that they say that if the farmer is slow to catch the thief will rather catch the farmer. The thief will rather call the farmer the thief.
That's deep.
So you see, this is gymnastics of how our judicial system is.
Yeah.
You see, when the OSP was set, it had a clear-cut mandate, and that was to deal with corruption and corruption-related issues.
And in fact, it was started by the very person who is being persecuted.
Yeah, the Nanado Dankwa as we later came to know, that Nana Danka KUNTUNKUNUNKU government.
Yes,
because
exactly.
I mean,
Yes,
it later came
yes,
to the fact that
de facto prime minister. Yeah.
Baumia was like, you know, a lame duck. That's what they wanted us to understand. But I mean, I don't agree to that. Baumia did his
It
part.
is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You can see it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. The optics can tell a different story.
Yeah.
But the truth always does
The facts.
reveal the
Yeah,
facts.
who is who and who is doing
Exactly.
what. Yeah,
and
you're right.
in my opinion, I'm seeing two things play out in this, in the sense that it is the power of money.
Sure.
Money.
Yeah, sure.
And also the weakness of the judiciary.
Of our whole system.
Exactly. In the sense that he's trying to delay prosecution.
Yes, he's now saying that I'm taking the word to you.
Exactly.
First of all, you let people come into my house without any form of what do you call
Warrant.
it? Warrant. You will recall that when that thing happened, the OSP said he didn't know about it.
Yes.
It wasn't him who sent.
Yes.
And there are clear-cut videos of the people who did it.
Yes.
We saw the face of Mr. Richard Jakpa
Yes.
with some military men.
Yes.
So if that's the issue, there's the body or the persons to, you know, sue.
Yes.
Again, KUNTUNKUNU Nanaya is saying that Kisi Ejaben has, you know, put a tag on him and called him a fugitive, running from justice.
Yes.
And he has put him on wanted list.
Yes.
And to him,
And to define a term, right? Fugitive can only qualify a person who has been prosecuted in the form of a court. He's been, like a case has been leveled against him, and he's running.
He's not making himself available.
Then he can qualify for a fugitive.
As a matter of fact, I'm not cutting you, but I'm just chipping this in. As a matter of fact, we have fugitive of justice in Ghana.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
The Maslock leader,
Yes.
who was prosecuted under Nana Donka
Yes. That can qualify
as a fugitive.
Of
She's
justice.
nowhere to be found.
Exactly. But
One said the name Tamaklo. She's nowhere to be found.
yes.
But back to Nana Yao's case.
Yes.
KUNTUNKUNU, Ken Oforiatta. You know, he'll forever remain famous as the Bible verse quoting finance minister.
And where did that get us?
Yes, he'll forever remain famous for that. You see, now he's flexing his muscles, because you will recall that I said that Kissie Jabin cannot do anything, and that Kissie Jabin is just setting an unnecessary trail for Ghanaians to just be running about, you know, and at the end of the day, give them some kind of euphoria, some kind of feeling that, okay, justice will surely be served, but the end result will be just like the Opuni case, dilly-dallying, and it will get to nothing. I'll be very...
If we're comparing, this cannot be compared to how Opuni was handled. In Opuni's case, there were freezing of assets.
It started from a point.
Interpol.
It started from a point.
Interpol was activated, that they couldn't leave the
I'm
domain
saying
where they were.
It started from a point.
This is practically
and it has ended
lenient,
and it has ended,
in my opinion.
And it has ended at nothing happening. Because I will not sit here and say that the 4 years under the then John Dramani Mahama Emisa Atta government, there was no corruption, there was no embezzlement of state funds, there was no misgivings and evil done against Ghanaians.
Corruption related. We saw it.
Exactly. Nothing happened. So I'm saying that this Fourth Republic is like that. It's just this unnecessary ping-pong activities that these so-called bodies are playing with the feelings of Ghanaians. Now he has sued. So it's going to start a whole court process.
And the OSP has come out with a counter statement and given a definite date.
Now giving the date.
It should appear, which is 2nd June.
You'll recall.
He should bring himself,
You'll
not
recall.
his lawyers.
You'll recall that the last episode we did, and we mentioned the OSP and KUNTUNKUNU's case, we will recall that we asked that, why don't we have the date? Because
Yes.
if you say that you have a date, why don't we have it?
Yes.
If not because of this lawsuit, would we have had any information as to 2nd June being the definite date that Nanaya must present himself?
Because he responded that he was receiving treatment.
Yes.
And he'll make himself
Yes.
available
Yes.
when he can.
Nothing was buying the OSP to give us that information.
Now there's an ultimatum on him to appear on the 2nd of June. And if he didn't appear before the OSP to answer the charges, he would be put on Interpol red alert. And also his name will be re-entered into the fugitive from justice list.
That's what the OSP is telling us.
And it means there's some seriousness here.
I don't see any.
So we just pray that the OSP will do his job and give the country justice. We all know there's some misgivings and corruption-related issues and gerrymandering have been going on, and we need clarity. We need closure to it, either guilty or not. We're waiting for the OSP to do his job. See?
Yeah.
So, OSP, we are faith in you. I will say, as a patriot,
No, I don't.
I support the OSP to pursue this matter to
even the idea of setting up the OSP.
The subset can never be greater than the whole set.
The idea of setting up the OSP to fight corruption has not yielded even 1%.
Exactly.
So
Trojan horse. We know.
Come on, I don't have any faith. But then we are here, like I said, whatever they do, it will come into the full glare of the public.
Yes.
And the public will differentiate between truth from fiction. And you see, so these things will pile up and it will wash away this kind of nuisance of political state that they are trying to create. So they should continue. Either they go through it or they don't. We are watching them. Now they have counter use and just look at this.
So we're waiting to see what will happen on the 2nd of June. So
that is, I'm predicting that he will come before that.
As responsible as he is, he should be.
Yeah, I'm predicting that.
He should be widely represented.
If he's well and he's okay, he will come.
He should wear his white.
Yeah, he will come.
And represent.
You know, these guys can do jack. Gift Your Warrior is playing ball and going about
representing the state.
Yeah, he's going about his way.
Yeah,
as it should be.
She's representing
because she has not been prosecuted and found guilty of any charge.
Investigation.
That's it.
So KUNTUNKUNUNKU, don't run from investigation.
Come home, y'all feel.
Nana brafie.
Y'all feel.
Brafie be defend Udinio. Brafie.
You see, Jabion to me.
So moving to the next subject. This is pertinent. This is close to my heart. And it concerns Ohene Kasia, Asantehene, OTUMFUO, OTUMFUO 32 the second. He's expressed his opinion about the free senior high school regime, and imploring the current president, President John Mahama, that he should rather not pursue the free education if the students are in school and hungry. In his opinion, that for all the students to have access to education and be hungry in school is not worth it, that he should abolish it. Rather than the students being in school and having free education and being hungry at it. He didn't say the government should improve the feeding programs in school or to enrich the feeding programs, but he says the government should cancel it. He doesn't support it. Cancel or review.
Yeah.
And also that he shouldn't make it plural for everybody, that those who can afford to pay should be allowed to pay. And I'm asking, how would you ascertain that this parent can pay and this parent cannot pay? Now, if the students are applying for the school, they'll put their parents' occupations on it or what? And also, if ruling out others for having free education whilst majority, because Ghana here, the poor are the majority, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And giving the poor, which is the majority, free education and excluding some would be biased according to law, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I don't agree with Ohene Kasia.
Alright.
I don't agree that Ghanaians or Ghanaians don't deserve the free education. It is a right.
Can I
Yes.
Nana opem so o say to baby o bon diana e bu emu ase ina yana na no. And the wealth and knowledge that comes from Menshia has been with us for a very long time, and it cannot be discounted in any way. And that is why when he says something as heavy as
His voice is
voice is very wealthy.
yes,
So,
thunderous.
so when he says something, it's very important to all that we look into the merits and demerits of what he said. And Nana seems to be a very open person who has been able to accommodate our turbulent political sharp divide culture and has opened his doors to everybody. He's opened his doors to everybody, all manners of persons. I do not think that Nana wants the free SHS cancelled. For me, what I got from what Nana was trying to say is that, look, at the end of the year, I'm in a year because we have zero reasons why our nieces and nephews are in school and they are hungry and they are eating poor food, unhealthy food, non-balanced diet food. We have zero reason as a state. Okay? We have zero reason as a state. We have arable lands. Even the schools have lands that they could get some form of.
This is the time Nana could tell the government to make agriculture a compulsory subject instead of an optional subject. That schools must have gardens in order to feed themselves.
Exactly my point. So Nana raised a very critical issue which has been going on, which has not been addressed. Remember, these people were the people who had that kind of good education with
Yes.
being fed by the state and
Yes.
all that.
All you needed was a good heart
Exactly.
and discipline.
So why is it that as we grow as a country, things become bad?
Yes.
And the standard is not bettered, it's not made better for everybody.
Yes.
So that is what Nana was trying to say, that look, but where I disagree and I find it difficult how it's going to be implemented is where Nana is saying that those who want to pay should be given the opportunity to
He
pay.
didn't say. The word is not those who want to pay, those who could pay or those who can pay.
So it's-
betumi atua no
and to say,
yɛma
esi-
ɔmo tua
esi-
ɛnyɛ sɛ
esi hɔ a-
ɔmo mpɛ sɛ ɔmo tua o ɛyɛ ɔmo betumi atua.
Okay, so omo betimi atua no, whether omo betimi atua, omo betimi atua, how would that be ascertained? That's
Yes, exactly.
That's the first question. Say, how would that be ascertained? Say, we no or no betimi atua. And you see, Nana, another issue of infrastructure. Be more that any sanya man. Is it a case that school fees now omo betua no will be able to cater for the food? Or will be able to cater for the infrastructure? No.
ɛnyɛ no na
Ɛnyɛ na ɛbɛ solve problem
ɛnyɛ no
no.
na yɛde si school no
And solve the problem.
dabi ɛnyɛ no
Exactly.
government
And
builds the
solve the
school.
problem. No. It's
see
yes,
taxpayer.
education minister said onona oko opim so na ase.
na yɛde to n'anim.
Akosra no ana opim so ene no eto adwen. Iti yes so ye ka education minister say onim said na na aka no onim na na pese oka. Na na pese okche say nkra na omo te school mo no. They are not prisoners sebe. Na mama muzo ntoliedi. Give them quality food. Find a way to do that, and it is doable. You know it. Say no, say ne. A friend is saying, yeah, ba adrosafua. Abedi didn't come over brave, touching on the school feeding and all the corruption that is going on over there. How ghost names are being put into the data, whilst real people are out there. Indeed, these are the issues. Any corruption, any bad leadership, any lack of love, patriotism, for the states. Because you don't be giving these children this kind of food and their mom, this kind of treatment and their mom. And for what? Why are you making their lives extra difficult just because they want to learn?
And also,
why are you doing that?
If it's about food, right? Rich and affluent individuals can show largesse, can show generosity in the sense that they can donate food for schools.
Ni nyinaa wɔ hɔ.
A month for betting government
community
feed schools rather than cutting the whole program. I know the because Ghana they are so talented that fee but all they will ever need is a secondary school education, and they can be better citizens.
Every government should be rest assured. Say,
yeah, we national agenda.
Oh no.
National interest.
The only way I would now
can only get better.
Yes.
So
you are feeding them well. Where they are sleeping is nice. The facility is meaningful.
Past questions, mom, instead of textbooks.
Past questions. Now, so I got past questions.
Who does that? Cutting corners.
I buy only the past code or
textbooks.
Textbooks now curriculum
the education system must be enriched. I will say
agriculture, making it compulsory. History, making it compulsory. You should know where you are coming from day one.
Yes.
And know how we are trying to build as a state.
Real history and the right knowledge.
Or minor don't say sana ye feedu ye no sana also eba betua tax ama be feedu mu ye. That is what we want to do. And you say about between they be there all between the
in the 21st century
more than 5%. Forget why will be castle don't say be free education 5% crown ntiendi e da ho
e be boni so man ye wo mu na nkola bi in your school because of baby free mama economic misfortunes na bia konkola no.
And the poor people are the majority in society.
I affect a whole generation in the country. So we recommend the rich and affluent Ghanaians. Mama sabe susuno. Send up him swakano. I was say come into the debate free SHS in the media and your mama yempe ways to curb it.
Na yen fine because Mahama abanya ohoe. A Greek for our yomono.
Yeah, and they are hands on.
Practicality.
Yes.
So solve it Ghana. I don't know why we have food problem. Transportation.
We don't control the means of food production.
So then we'll go to the root and solve it.
Food production is not commercial here. It is subsistence. Is the only few people do it commercially, and that is only private. They do it by their own means, no state support and all.
Now planting for food and job, that was what it was trying to do.
But the state couldn't do it.
Why?
You see, lack of willingness.
Yeah.
You see, it's
even good concept.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, the concept becomes something that does not impact the very people. And you see, it's sad. South African Republic go on. There's
a culture going on, creating a certain kind of culture or class called, I will use the words of Afenya Markin,
Political class.
political class.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yes.
they have created it.
A class of impunity.
Yeah.
A class of untouchables.
Yeah.
They're creating them. No matter their backgrounds, they can be just anybody. Once they enter that class, they become
They can
somebody.
do whatever they want.
Yes.
They can do the gravest of sins, commit
Exactly.
the gravest of crimes, and
Exactly.
at the end of the day, nothing will happen to them. And it's becoming a serious albatross on our neck.
Yes.
And look, for me, I feel like there's no time anymore.
Yeah. Corruption should be part of the capital punishment.
There's no time anymore to be dilly-dallying around this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dear. Haruna Idrisu, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the culture and say, you know that free education is untouchable, and it has come to stay.
Yeah, it should.
What you can do as an education minister and put your touch on is to now make it more quality,
Yes.
make it better, give
Yes.
the children, the youth that are coming up an experience that it will force them to love this country.
Yes.
Give them a good experience. Why are you treating them like prisoners? You are modern. They said the modema sabi obia wakoya bonia ya china shefias.
Yes.
Obia
But education should not be
education is not a
punishment.
punishment.
No.
They should have the love for it.
It's
Obi
not
ohona say
sentence.
aduane onya di wo school no say onye bi kra ofia. School be ya on di 30 minutes kra ofia.
Yes. Yes.
Aduane nti obeko school.
Yes.
Then whatever impact that we have structured will impact on that person.
And
It's the way they share more, there.
if some children couldn't get 3 square meals a day at home, and they could get 2 square meals at home, in school, it will be a good judgment on the government.
Of course.
Yes, and that is what a good country does. See, you take care. You become the what?
The mother
The mother
of everybody.
and the backup
Exactly.
for citizens
Yeah, yeah.
who cannot hold up to their own. You see, they must have the state to fall on, especially the younger generation.
Free
So
education is untouchable.
it's a must.
It's untouchable.
It's a must. It's a right. In the
It has come to stay.
In the 21st century, we shouldn't be debating about the right of education. It can
all.
only be better.
At all.
It must stay. It has come to stay, and we support it. And whatever any Ghanaian, any well-meaning Ghanaian can do to ameliorate the educational system of this country, it is welcome. We highly encourage that.
The feeding issue is a very big
Yes.
issue. An infrastructure.
Opem so odo wanu ahwemu de da wasenana.
No. Nana did not two mununqua dear. And I was an anano dear. Oh no, Bob show. One tea nasema. Oh no, on be show. But as soon as that's on a bed,
And so program ne
oh, the is untouchable.
as I trust everybody.
No, it's untouchable.
Oh,
No. It can't come back like, yo, free education has come to stay.
That is a singular, most significant thing Akufo-Addo will take credit
Yeah, the
for.
back Kai Aludi every time.
Yeah.
That limited dinner, okay. Give and take. Yeah. Internally, they were idea. But then again, the underlying issues of a comedy or more, baby, munyanda, curriculum.
That is another subject for another government to deal with.
Exactly.
So,
It's, you know,
Mama's here.
On fine, on the priority, non daily with it, no.
Yes, it is very important.
On fine, the priority, non daily with it, no.
Education is a must. Education. You move no baby, you free no, and you school. Yeah, so education is a must, and we support it. So, education minister, do the job, hold it right, let it stay, let us be proud of you, yeah, and your government. So that's about it. And the next subject. The next subject is about a recent interview that Mr. President John Mahama had in the news that he's planning to create a new city outside Accra, even though he's not planning to move the capital from Accra to the new city. he intends to create a competitive city to compete with Accra. I believe you're aware.
Yeah. I mean,
To him, Accra is highly congested, highly filthy. It doesn't qualify.
as a fact, that Accra is congested and it's filthy.
Yeah.
But then again, these two things is something that could be corrected and should be corrected.
Yes. But it is a good idea to capitalize anywhere else outside Accra.
It's a brilliant idea.
Accra is an old capital.
It's a brilliant idea. But this is not the first time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is making such assertions. In 2013, he brought the Hope City project. You understand? It didn't see the light.
So he's targeting the
It didn't.
Dangbe.
It didn't see the light. It didn't see the.
far.
It didn't see the light of day.
Okay.
You understand?
But this, Ghana, we need to move the capital from Accra.
Oh.
We need to decentralize
development. Decentralization of development is important, but not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, these are things that I don't hold great any sentiments about it. If it is going to make economic sense and it's going to help the people, why not?
Yes, economically.
My worry is that these Fourth Republic politicians, they say a lot of stuff.
Rhetoric, we know them.
And do nothing about it.
We know them.
They talk big and they do nothing about it. We have seen it before. This is what they have been doing for 32, 34 years. I mean, we are going to build a new city, we are going to do this. They'll end up not doing any single thing. And they will finish their government and they will go and another. Come on, man. We've seen this before. If they start doing it, we'll see it. We are in Ghana. See, we cost better say, okay, cost project in cost. It's not even in the budget.
Yes.
How is it planned to do with private companies or something like that?
So for now, it's an idea. It's an idea, and to me, it's a good idea. See, we clean up Accra.
We have to clean up Accra.
We capitalize somewhere else.
We have to clean up Accra.
We can't capitalize the north or anywhere else.
We have to clean up Accra and still be open to creating new cities, like you're saying, because it has been done. Aside for Dr. Carmen Nkrumah did it with Tema, our own general, Champon also did it with that some estate. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but we mono.
That's what governments do.
The Americans say Fourth Republic we mono kasankwa kinkinkwa or back kana. Korea or Cotton say on Kai Grass or Kai, Ubizan Gobaza on a cancer. Say Kufado Yebi. Baumia say, Ombabi Sea Airport or Central Reason. Kufado Corners of Shay, on wrong guy, and on small Baumia Zongo Gary. That's what he said.
Rhetoric, yeah. When we deliver.
You know, I had dream pack on my cool, on my so I don't more many.
Okay, and today we're moving up a notch, touching on Pan-African, because we stand for Pan-Africanism, and our patriotism, our agenda of patriotism is not limited to Ghana only. It is linked up with
Africa.
a total liberation and patriotism of the African continent.
Africa is for Africans,
so
both home and abroad.
Today on the our Pan-African touch, we're talking about Belgium. They taunt between Rwanda and Belgium, in the sense that recently, yesterday, Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, has stated that they have severed ties with Belgium. They are colonial masters. Now, they are expelling all diplomatic representatives of Belgium from Rwanda. And Belgium has responded doing the same. For what reason? The president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, says, in fact, Belgium has been on an agenda of spreading lies, blatant lies, and calumny against the state of Rwanda concerning the European Union and the United Nations. that even Belgium is fighting for the UN to sanction Rwanda, and thus they are meddling in their sovereignty. And Belgium, lying that Rwanda is responsible for the M23 rebels in the Congo, who have just seized the city of Goma in eastern Congo. So Paul Kagame, of course, denied that and says Belgium is doing that to tarnish the image of and the name of Rwanda. So they've severed ties with them. What's your take on it?
African issues always weigh me down. When, Ghana, we have our own challenges, we have our own problems. But then when I try to encapsulate the whole political, economical underpinnings of the continent, it weighs me down and it makes me sad. You see, the eastern side of Africa has been very turbulent, and issues like this must be looked into right from where it started and where each one interest is. And these are very multifaceted issues. It's not direct like that. You cannot say that this is right and this one is wrong. But we as Africans, what we know is that Africa is for Africans, both home and abroad, and therefore our interest is to protect the African state.
And when you learn the truth, you can see who's wrong and who's right.
Belgium has always taken interest in the eastern of Africa, from the Congos, the Rwandas.
In fact, they were the colonial masters to most concerning Rwanda and Belgium, and Rwanda and Congo.
Yes, and if you look at the history of colonial leadership, it's to plunder, it's to steal, it's to take everything that they want to take. So the history have been there, and this history has contributed to the fact that that region has always been turbulent, with mercenaries killing Africans, killing villages, setting them on fire, making sure that the people do not have any form of peace just because of what is found in their land.
Resources.
The resources in their land.
Resources.
You see, the M23 are mainly a Tutsi rebel group. So it will be very convenient for Belgium to be riding on the so-called Rwanda is sponsoring rebels just to, put Rwanda down in the international sphere. But what about Belgium's own contribution to this settlement of a whole region? What about that? If we say we are going to punish a country, a region, for this kind of crime against humanity, it should start with the Belgium.
Yes, they caused all the problem.
It should start with them.
Before they went there were no problems.
Exactly.
Between the Tutsis and the
Hutus and any other tribe that was there.
They were living in harmony.
You sowed the seed of discord, you watered the seed of discord, you profited from this seed of discord, and today you feel like it's comfortable just because there's a fact that the Tutsi, the M23, are Tutsi-backed rebel group. So all of a sudden then Rwanda is the boogeyman, is the evil person.
But according to the report and research, there are in excess of 120 rebel groups and mercenary groups in the Congo.
Yeah.
Especially the eastern part of the Congo, where it is mineral rich.
The issues of Congo makes me sad.
About 50 of them are foreign companies.
Mercenaries. Look,
they protect foreign
when the M23 entered Goma, the people that they were packing up were all Caucasian people. They were not black. These are not Africans. What are they doing there?
They're multinational companies
with these weapons.
And their representatives and mercenaries guarding them.
So they have turned that region into a melting point of the boogeyman, or the bigger man takes whatever he or she wants. And it has gone on like that. And the UN is aware. So
Yeah.
on what moral grounds, on what high horse is Belgium riding to say that Rwanda is the whole architects of confusion?
When we know the history.
We know the facts. The facts are there, and the UN knows it even more than us. They have the reports. They know it.
AU, what are they doing?
Another body that breaks my heart. You see, the OAU, Organization of African Unity, and the AU, if you
and OAU
I'm
is
coming.
different from
I'm coming.
AU.
That's why I'm coming. And the African Union, if you're not careful, you would think that it is one of the same
They're
thing.
united already.
But no.
African Union means it's a
No,
united.
we are not.
It's a united body.
We are now trying to organize ourselves.
But Organization of African Unity,
to form a union
yes.
that transcends any other interest but our collective
it's an
interest.
organization pursuing African
Exactly.
unity.
So the AU have been there for God knows how many years, been watching just that it draws funding and membership dues and whatever from, and run it like it's just any other organization, and it's all about probably creating employment for a few people, and that's it. And it's sad. And it's sad because if you look at other unions, like the European Union, you see that there's constant agitation for a better and improved Europe.
Yeah.
There's nothing buying the AU looking after a better and stronger African continent, be it in military form, be it in economics. You understand? Protecting our own sovereignty. We have after that now we are trying to, encourage trade between African states. And then again, the foundational issues are there. Transportation. By air is very costly. By road is dangerous.
Artificial barriers.
Exactly. We're not looking into trains. We're not looking into having a common...
Africans cannot move freely within the continent.
Africans can't move freely within their own homeland. Because if you look at our historical journey, it could be that me and you sitting here, our ancestors even started from probably Ethiopia or Congo or wherever.
Their history. If you are an Akan, you should know where you started from Mali. You were Soninke before you became an Akan.
Exactly.
So
and even before they also got there, probably they even came from Sudan. So why can't I travel to Sudan freely, and an upright, good standing Sudanese citizen also travel to Ghana freely? Again, the cost of travel is one factor that you must look into it.
So in name, it sounds like Africa is united by the name African Union. And if it is a union, then I must be able to move freely within the union.
Exactly.
So it's a Trojan horse.
Exactly.
Sounds like we are united, but we're not. We still maintain the colonial barriers.
Maintain the colonial mentality.
We still maintain the colonial laws.
Colonial laws.
Colonial bigotry. Hating one another.
All because of
for
color.
no reason or interest of our own, but inherited from a foreign master who hated us all.
Exactly. That's the fact, man. That's
See,
deep. From
so-
one person who hated all of you.
Yes.
And it's just saying that, oh, this one is better than no,
Exactly.
he hates all of you. You are the
Yes.
same to him. You are shattles. You are just another bristles to be disposed of.
Business.
And I mean,
See.
we must make it a priority to think about ourselves. It's our business to think about our continent, how we are going to make it better for us. It's our business. It's nobody's business to think about Africa than Africans.
Yes. Africa must unite. See,
So
that is important.
this issue of, severing ties and all that, these are some of the international relation gymnastics that comes to play when it becomes, and you see, they have been doing this thing for God knows how many times, but it takes some balls to also push back.
Yeah. So I will say I'm proud of
So
Kagame.
yes,
For standing up for
one
his
step
country,
forward.
for standing up for all Rwanda and by extension all Africa. So we are with him.
One step for
And,
Kagame for not letting anybody push him around.
Yes.
Look, the issues are wide and they are deep. So
Yes.
if the UN wants to tackle it, it should be holistic.
Yes.
It shouldn't make all of a sudden a terrorist out of Rwanda.
Yeah.
And what they are trying to build, the culture and the economy they are trying to build, all of a sudden comes to crumble. Because when they start these kind of things, then they will give you sanctions.
Yes.
Then you cannot trade.
Embargoes
And all that.
Yeah.
Then they are crumpling you. They are killing the people. If it's Kigami that you have a problem with, it is not Rwandese that you use them as scapegoats. And again, the same Kigami that you are having an issue with has been somebody that
one time they supported.
you have backed, you have done business with.
Yes.
So are you saying now it has come to light that he is sponsoring rebels?
No, because
And again,
it's changed.
again, Belgium, for God's sake, they do not have any moral right or whatsoever to point fingers to any other state for causing mayhem in the eastern side of Africa, because they have been in the game. They have stirred it up for their benefits.
Yeah.
So please, if the UN is serious, then
Rwanda have gone through the biggest and worst of all genocides.
ethnic genocide.
See, ethnic cleansing.
And for what? And for what? Why do we do this thing to each other?
So
now that we don't want to do this thing to each other, then now, okay, let's put an embargo. Let's make everybody poor. Come on.
make an enemy of them.
If Congo was as peaceful as Rwanda is, and if Congo was as focused as making Congo great, as Rwanda at least as focused in making Rwanda come on board, is it not for a better Africa?
Yes, it
if
is.
Congo is peaceful,
It is.
there might be business that we have to do in Congo. We will go. They'll come and do business here.
In fact, the Congo is bigger than all Western Europe.
Interesting.
See? And a country like Belgium is not 4 times the size of the Congo, but they controlled the Congo one time.
They're still in
And
there.
it's still neo-colonial.
They're still in
They
there.
are still pursuing neo-colonial agenda. See, and not them alone. All African colonies are now neo-colonial.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Rwanda is the only country trying to chart a new course for their people by the leadership of Mr. Kagame. And now he's facing opposition from the very people who thought they made him.
Yeah, there's a pushback.
See, because the agenda changed. Now he's serving the people of Rwanda.
And we have seen this thing play out countless times. If you're normal with them, then the next thing is there.
Yes.
They have to take you off.
Yes.
They have to make you unpopular. You have seen it play out countless times.
Yeah.
So there's gymnastics going on. For
Yes.
us, what we are saying is plain and simple.
Yes.
Africa is for Africans, both home and abroad. And we support our African brothers.
Yes, and there's a proverb that when brothers fight, it is the stranger that benefits.
Of course.
So Africa must unite.
We support our African brothers. They
It
must
is
do.
very important.
They must do what they must do to protect their sovereignty.
Yeah.
And if that means cutting ties with Belgium at a point, so be it.
Yeah.
When
for the greater good.
when
yes,
Belgium
we
is
support it.
playing fair and Rwanda also feels that this is fair to them, they
Yes.
can go back.
Yes.
We are all sovereign countries.
Yes.
Unless then we want to say that some of the countries are more important than
No,
others.
we shouldn't
then
accept that.
We are not going to accept that.
Yes.
So, yes,
Yes.
our heart goes out to all Rwandans. And Congo especially. You see, what is happening in Congo is sad. The kind of killings,
Yeah.
the kind of atrocity that's happening in Congo for years, for years.
Yeah.
It has never stopped. Congo has never been peaceful, and it's sad.
Yeah.
And it's a dent on all of us as Africans.
The
Any so-called
resources of Congo has become a curse to the people of Congo.
and it transcends through all of Africa.
Scavengers.
It transcends through all of Africa. Wherever
They're
there's
harvested.
resources, then there must be a problem.
Yeah, there's
We are facing our own.
scavengers.
We are facing our own. Destroying our water bodies and
Yes.
forests in Ghana, and we have not
Yeah.
been able to fight it. Now I learned
Yes.
that they have trained some youths to go and guide the water bodies. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, and also
Let's see how it goes, because I'm not that convinced that will eradicate the problem. I feel like they should go after the money. They should go after the capital. The big people who are actually doing these things, you know them, but you're not going after them. When you apprehend foreigners who are putting in huge capital into destruction of our forests and water bodies, you set them free. You don't do anything about it. You understand? So it's becoming like the resources of Africa has become a curse to us, because it is what the world needs. So if we are not able and willing to protect what the world needs and benefit of it, somebody will use whatever means to come for it. And that's what has been happening.
Yeah.
So, man, we hope
All right.
something better comes out and Congo becomes peaceful again. Yes. And we are with Rwanda on this issue. Yes. No two ways about it.
We're with all Africa.
Yeah.
Africa is ours, and we should defend it and develop it to our own benefit. And that can achieve by unity. Africa must unite, as Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said once, and still important and relevant. Africa must unite for the benefit of its own people. So, brother, any last words?
Yeah, it's been a good section. Every time, like we say, be patriotic, because that will be your greatest achievement in life. When you stand for your people, when you stand for your land, you will be remembered into the eons of times, and you stand the test of time. But if you feel like you are going to sell the fortunes of everybody just to save your skin, you can't save your skin. And at the end of the day, you will regret doing that. This is the Warrior King podcast. We are watching everything that drops in Ghana. We are watching. And just like we have been telling you, things have been unfolding just like we told you. We are still watching. We are watching OSP and KUNTUNKUNUNKU. We are watching changing the name of Kotoka International Airport into either Accra International Airport or whatever name. We are watching. Nothing is happening. We are watching the free SHS. We are watching if it's going to become better, if it's going to serve the people. We are watching. We are following all the issues, all the corruption issues, all the development issues, everything we are following. We will say it as it is, and we'll stand with the people, because it's a patriotic podcast. So the people's will is what and must prevail. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me.
And for my brother and sister out there, we're here for you. It is you out there that we come here all the time in order to educate you, to inform you, to be a good citizen, a patriotic citizen, in the sense that patriotism, a person, even an intelligent person without patriotism in his heart, everything he does will look stupid. We've seen so many of them. And even an ignorant person with patriotism in his heart, all he does will look intelligent. We are seeing a lot of them too. So it is good and right to be patriotic. And this is what we represent. This is why we're here. This has been the Warrior Kings podcast. We come here for you, and we shall be